Hello there and welcome
to the new channel.
Here to help you see
the new you.
My name is Carmine Ortega.
Dennis Calamba.
This is Nato Agbayani.
My name is Juan Lu.
I'm Chino.
I'm Trisha. This is Apple Manansala.
This is Attorney Carlo Ibanez.
This is Attorney Sheila Santiago.
This is Angie.
This is Argamid.
My name is Dante Salama.
This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo.
I'm Dania Cunha.
Mon Mendoza.
I am Mapet Erhino.
I'm Leo Bryan. Mike.
Nice one, dear.
Sir Al Ian Barcelona.
Marvin Salazar. This is Sunny Haldons.
Heidi Lumainos.
This is Ivan Jude.
Patrick Geronimo.
Alan Perez.
My name is Erwin Ursua.
My name is Bob.
My name is Lloyd Luna and this is
Future.
The Talk.
Family Business.
The Puppet Stories.
After Shift.
PNC Town Hall.
YOLO.
Marketplace.
The Home Buyer.
HR Hotline.
Danny Art Show.
Hotline.
Foreign Affairs.
COVID Stories.
Awesome Day Show.
Thank you.
Money and more.
Cybernext.
Women at Work.
Win Within.
Port Project.
The Big Picture.
Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC ignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC ignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon. Magandang hapon. Welcome to the new channel, here to help you see the new you. This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo, your host to this wonderful program, the HR Hotline. Wonderful afternoon. After the third season, in the fourth season of HR Hotline, we actually made it a point to do what it is actually intended. It is a hotline. So we dedicated Thursdays to be consultation day. So for the past few weeks, we have what we call engaging conversation. Since we are using StreamYard, we cannot have you on the screen, but we do our conversations and the, the sharings that you can uh, express through the chat box. Um, on Tuesdays and Saturdays, we have guests and we talk of topics that is very, very engaging, but related to human resource and, of course, management. I notice here that we already have Marvin Soilo. I invited him as one of the uh, consultants in today's episode. And I would like Marvin if you can join us every day and especially on Thursdays so that you can um, give and share your thoughts on some concerns of HR. And of course, Charis Muniz Sampan, she was our guest earlier. I noticed that we have here Mr. Gabriel Dominguez. I don't know if he's still around. Uh, Sir Billy, you are actually in the list. I will send you a private message. I want you to be a guest in HR Hotline. And I would like to congratulate you on your endeavors, especially the Green Circle. That is one industry that is actually the list of those affected by the pandemic. Okay. By the way, I would like to start with telling all of us to be extra careful. This morning, I received a notice coming from the chat, the feed from the Department of Health that yes, we have the other variant already here in Metro Manila. So extra careful. Of course, life goes on, but we have to make sure that we have all the PPEs, the masks, the shield, the face shield, and of course the physical distancing. I notice also that we have already here Joanne Rosary Acetre. Thank you, Joanne, for joining us. Joanne also was our guest, and uh, it was an engaging episode. So we have actually three items to discuss in today's episode. We start with the easier one. It was actually posted in one of the group chat in PMAP. It's about separation pay. The second one is actually a problem that I just had a chat with a friend of mine, which is actually hormonal imbalance for women at work. So you have to be ready. Jing Chavez, you're here. Oh, Jing, I miss you. Jing is one of those HR who commissions me to do seminars. And I love doing it with them. Anyway, going back. And the third one, if you still have time, it's about um, husband and wife or relations working in your organization. So, you always lack time when it is an episode on a Thursday. Oh, anyway, all episodes. I can remember Charisse and then Joanne Warrior and Zoilo when we have them as guests. Uh, kulang yung oras. Kulang yung oras. Sometimes the questions I prepared were not actually asked, and because the conversation is fluid, it's free flowing, but There are lots of friends of mine who informed me or texted me that the episodes are really very, what do you call this, um, insightful and lots of learnings. It's like, but it is full of substance. And it's actually the the chemistry between the guest and myself. Oh, this time, let's do it. So let's go to the first one. Um, it's actually coming from an entrepreneur, and she was asking some help from HR because she's asking, she was asking, are we supposed to pay what you call a separation pay or a terminal pay or a retirement pay? The question actually is, are we supposed to give a retirement pay to somebody that we let go? We did not terminate the person. We terminated the employment of the person. So the question is, are we going to give a, what do you call this, a retirement pay? Because she learned that there was a an employee in a bank that she brought the case to NLRC. So I would like to hear your thoughts on this. There is something coming from Marvin. I was It was wonderful experience to be a guest in Jesse's show. I thought it is actually already an answer, Marvin. So it's very simple. I will start the game. Um, we have to be very careful as leaders, as managers, and especially as HR in dealing with uh, reduction of manpower or ending contracts, terminating employments at this time. Because everybody is also anxious. At this time, I invited some people from PSTD. There should already be a program on this. It's not only good that you have a nice onboarding program, and this is orientation, and you promise the heaven and the moon to employees. But at this time, of course, that we are in this business continuity, and you have to be strategic. And usually, if I don't know if there's a thought on this, you try to streamline and you try to cut, and the first thing that you cut, it's either training or manpower itself. So in that case, when you do that, there is a process. But let's go first to the question. Are we supposed to give a retirement pay? That is the question. Can I hear some sharing from the guests that we have here? Marvin, as long as the employee has completed 1 full month service at work as tenure, the employee will receive a prorated computation. Yes, yes, Marvin, that is true. And completed a full month. But the question, should it be retirement or should it be separation pay? Because there is a big difference with that. I would like to, um, there were some already answers in the PMAP chat, but I would like to have it discussed here in HR Hotline. There is a big difference between a, what do you call this, retirement pay and a separation pay, or what you call your terminal pay or final pay. Oh, nabulol na tuloy ako. Final pay. Final pay. And we have to compute it. The computation, as mentioned by Marvin Zoilo, is that if there is already 1 month, then it has to be computed already, and you have to know that. HR must ask the help of accounting and must ask the help of legal on this. But I'm more. We have here Joanne. We have here Charisse. I'm more on the program on how we are going to facilitate easing out people. There should be a program, especially now that after this strategic planning, one of the decisions maybe is to cut on people. So I would like to get your thoughts on this. Marvin already told us that the process. That is one. But I would like to know the legal term. The employee is entitled to a separation pay. Thank you, Joanne. Equivalent to 1 month pay or at least 1 month pay for every year of service, whichever is higher. So if it is already for a year, then there should be a month. And Joanne already answered it. Separation pay. I don't know, Joanne, if there are other advisories from Dole, if it is COVID or pandemic related, but this is actually in the labor code. In PMAP, I am a member of the IR committee because this is one of the lists that I know. So for Marvin, it has to be prorated if it is done less than a year. From Joanne, if it is more than a year, it's 1 month pay. So that's it. But Joanne, our topic last time was change management. Can you share with us what should HR do? I had that in inquiry before when we have change management. Okay, coming from Marvin, as per RA 7641, retirement pay is only given to 60 years old qualified private employees. Thank you, Marvin. Thank you, Marvin. June, you are here. Join us. Because this is more of a, I know you know this. The problem is somebody, an entrepreneur was asking the PMAP chat group that should she give what do you call this, retirement pay for somebody who is already being yung reduction, because he learned that in a bank an employee brought the case to Dole. So it was already clear at this time that according to Joanne, it has to be a separation pay. If it is less than a year, according to Marvin Zoilo, it has to be prorated, and according to Joanne, it has to be 1 month pay for every year of service, and then you prorate it. So that is clear. But I am more after the program that we should do, because this should not happen that we just give them, what do you call that? Help me, Marvin and Soilo and Cherise. What do you call it? Pink, blue? What is the color of? What is the? I did not Google it. What is the color of the notice or the memo when you are trying to terminate the employment? I got it from Attorney JBJ. You don't terminate the person, you terminate the employment. Pink slip ba yan or blue slip? I don't know. Please help me. So before you give that, there should be a program. That is my point, and I would like to seek your help. There should be a program. Should it be in the counseling? Should it be in the coach? Not coaching. You don't coach people, or else it will be development. What do you call that when you, Marvin? What you call that when you try to terminate somebody and you are actually the intention is actually easing them out? What do you call that? It's not developmental assignment. It's actually a case, but there should be one. There are. Can we have the point coming from Marvin first? Marvin first. Can we have that one? In the absence of a retirement plan or agreement providing for retirement benefits of employees in the establishment, an employee upon reaching the age of 60 years or more, but not beyond 65 years, which is hereby declared the compulsory retirement age, who has served at least 5 years in the said establishment, may retire and shall be entitled to retirement pay. Marvin, thank you for that. Spot on. So kung nag 5 years na, pwede nang mag-retirement pay equivalent to at least 1.5 months salary of every year of service, or a fraction of at least. We will share this. So, kasi this was discussed in the PMAP chat group, but this is a new one. So aside from that, it has to be prorated, and according to Joanne, it has to be 1 year. But if it is more than 5 years and there is a retirement plan, then the person is already entitled for a retirement pay. Okay, and there is a post here from June. there are two considerations. One is the inclusion of the company policy, or if not, you go to the yellow book. Okay. Then, Ophel, pink slip. Thank you. It is a pink slip. Sabi ko na nga kay Ophel eh. But, Ophel, pink slip. Ophel, pink slip, but this term is more North American. Oh, I love you, Ophel, my best friend. Si Ophel, she's really that, just like Joanne, very proper, very women of substance. So, nasa North America naman tayo, Ophel, eh. So we can say, let's prepare for a pink slip to this person. So, Joanne, yes, outplacement program counseling on how to navigate the change and career planning. Love you, Joanne. Yes, yan ang iniintay ko. Can we post it again? Direct, can we post again what Joanne, outplacement program? Kasi Joanne, we know that a lot, they have what we call, si Ophel, perfect niya yan eh, yung onboarding program. Hi, just come here. When I was in Inquirer, my onboarding program was really great. May mga pa-party pa ako, may mga, si Ophel, mayroong gift eh. I know. We'll discuss that next time. Pero ito yung outplacement program. Let's go back kasi we have to flash it direct. The outplacement program on how to navigate change and career planning. I think that is what HR should do now. Kasi that is a problem na nagsa-surface. Ano, one year na tayo nung pandemic. But you know, it's only this time na nagka-strat plan. And then, you know, of the strat plan that I've heard, I am actually doing, I will be doing a strat plan. Pero yung mga what I heard is that usually they would like to streamline. At ang streamline, sad to say, Ophel and Joanne, one is training, na dapat sabi ko hindi, and the other one, people. So ito nga yung problema. Retirement must be clearly laid out in the employee guidelines, part of onboarding. Right, Ophel. But this time, Ophel, the problem is yung separation pay nga. So it's something everyone is aware from the day one to their employment. Right. So that the person, of course, aggrieved. You always have to feel aggrieved when you are already, parang, why is it that I am eased out? So you're aggrieved. Pero if, right, Ophel, if you know that these are the processes, these are the expectation, if you're going to be separated, di ba? O coming from Marvin Soylo, employees who voluntarily resign from work are not entitled to separation pay. Aha! That is the question. I am waiting for that. Kasi that was actually the answer doon din sa chat group. So, who voluntarily resign from work are not entitled to separation pay. Philippine laws only grant separation pay to those who were dismissed from the service, not due to their own fault or negligence, but for reasons that are beyond that control. Business closure, cessation of operation, retrenchment to prevent losses. Naku, Marvin, dapat mag-consultant ka doon sa entrepreneur na yon. Yeah. Yes. So, it's actually yung closure, cessation of operation, retrenchment. Pero paano nga kung if it is parang yun nga, work from home, alternative arrangements, and you're already afraid of the pandemic, of the COVID, then you are forced to resign. Paano yun, Marvin? There should not be a secret. Let's move on. Si Ophel, there should not be a secret program. Ay, meron pa siyang yes. Kasi sometimes, you know, I like that. Laliman ko, Ophel, ha? Kasi there are times, ang lahat na lang na ginagawa sa HR, confidential. No. It should not be confidential kasi that's part of life. From sourcing down to yung cessation or easing out. Then we have Joanne. Outplacement or career transition often confused with outsourcing or job placement. Thank you, Joanne. Si Joanne talaga Bicolana at napakatalino. Outplacement or career transition are confused with outsourcing or job placement. Nako, Joanne, let's collaborate and have a webinar on this for HR. is a structural approach towards a next career for employees who have been displaced, conducted on behalf of the company, making the change tailored to the level of the individual in the organization. I don't know if PP Obet is here. Ang alam kong mayroong successful program on this, San Miguel. Kasi sa San Miguel, yung mga na-ease out na mga, what do you call that? Yung nagsisell ng mga detailman, nagkaroon sila ng program for that. I replicated that in Inquirer. Kasi there was a time, di ba, nawala yung stripteaser kasi we got a new, what do you call this, system? We made a program. I got it from Rick Avadesco. Okay? I am a mentee of Rick Avadesco. We made a program how they are going to yung career shift nga, yung sinasabi ni nawala tuloy ni Joan, yung job placement. You know, Joan, what we did before? We got vans, the heart of Sandy Romualdez Prieto. And then some of them, we might ask them to purchase it on a subsidized basis. And then they nag-ano lang sila ng transport. Some, we taught them how to proofread. Some, binigyan ng way wherein they can actually continue their earning still connected with Inquirer. But it has to be a program well thought of. Correct, Marvin. No separation pay for those who resign on their own. It has to be clear. Alam mo, ikokopya ko ito. Ilalagay ko ito, Marvin, doon sa PMAP. Then we have, in short, outplacement is helping take care of employees until they start a new career. Yes, the heart of Jesus in the heart of HR. Hindi lang pwede na after your engagement with the company, pinabayaan mo na. Which is why, you shout it out. I really love Inquirer kasi sa Inquirer, before you leave, they make sure that you are good. Then we have, I said it, Richie here. Hi, Jesse. Feedback from some new employees is that career and financial planning and retirement transition should begin for new employees and guided the whole time they are in that company. Yes, Richie, kasi ang millennial and then the zillennial, mayroon silang tanning, may time frame. It's unlike us. Now, when you join the company and you ask them, I would like to be in this company until I retire. No. Now, when you interview people, the younger generation, say, I will stay here for 5 years. I will stay here for 10 years. I don't know if this is actually coming from the BPO mindset. But with that, dapat sasagutin ng HR that there should be a program. You're right. That there should be a program that they are with the company that prepares them early on the change of females. For everybody knowledge, si Richie po is a champion, is a PR person, is a communicator, an advisor for internal and external corporate communication, which is why. Sabi ni John, I agree with you, Miss Ophelia, should not be a secret program. Kaya nga, kailangan tayo, Joanne, Ophel, and Richie, we have to provide this as our advocacy. Kasi nagiging problema na talaga yan. Nagiging problema. And coming from June, what if the entrepreneur is employing below 10? Will this law apply? What do you mean by below 10? 10 years siguro. Ang mahirap nito kung yung iba pang arrangement, which is yung contractual, yung outsource talaga. Pero yung outsource niya, it's already yung may DO. And then during this pandemic, those who resign voluntarily and from their own volition, I like the word volition, Marvin, because they were afraid of COVID, will not be paid of separation pay. That is really sad, Marvin. Then Richie, I like this. This is very engaging conversation. A leadership awardee CEO had programs in place to ensure that employees can provide well for their families and thus can work best knowing they are provided for. Yes, Richie. I can name some companies wherein they have that program. See, kay Mr. Nick Lim, they have that. Kay JP Orbeta, they have that in Ayala. Then, yun nga, I have that in Inquirer also. But these are for micro and medium scale entrepreneurs. Now, every money, every counts, di ba? Every peso counts. So, tinitingnan nga nila yung mga separation pay. Pero I am more of that heart for those who are listening. Yung mga live natin. Di ba? We have to have a soft heart for those who are leaving. Kaya dapat tama nga si Joan, that there should be a what do you call it? Outplacement. Okay. And this placement, then we have a fail. If due to COVID, can we have that direct? If due to COVID, the company is accountable for ensuring this is part of the program and corresponding separation pay is clearly defined and discussed. So dapat early on, mga mid of last year, naglagay na sila coming from the what do you call this? Announcement, advisories coming from DOLE with outgoing employees. Others even extend other benefits like HMO for the next X number of months. I remember. We have that in Inquirer. Kasi you still have, after a year, an HMO. This is part of the humane people management. I love that. Kanina kay Marvin, volition. Ito naman, I love that. Humane. Naku talaga si Ophel. I like your vocabulary, ma'am. Yung pink slip from North America, and now humane. Human resource should have an E, humane. HR and communication can work together for a successful program. I agree. Pero ang mahirap, Richie, we are now on Richie's comment direct. Ang mahirap, Richie, there are some companies na wala talagang in charge ng corporate communication. So it is left, I don't know kung who is actually taking charge of that, and usually it is left on the HR. Na din yung sinabi ni Richie Ronquillo, HR and communication can work together. These are for big. Yeah, so pwede. Pero kung hindi talaga, walang magagawa. It's HR is going to bear that responsibility. Then, remember, replacement of, sinasabi din pala ni June Sally, retirement of 10 employees. Yes. Paano naman kung, what do you mean by yung quantity marami? Diba? Yeah. Yes. Then cross-function cooperation is always best. Yes. So it should not be a secret. And then from early on, the employees should know what are their expectations if they are going to resign or be retired. Retrenchment during the pandemic, that is actually Marvin Soilos post. And then Richie, authenticity and trust, if established by management in good times, will help a lot in times of duress. I like, ang tatalino ng ating mga consultant, I like your word, Richie, duress. Humane coming from Ophel, and volition coming from Marvin. I love this, guys. Hugs. Yes. Sabi ni Richie, authenticity and trust. Yes. So dapat talaga, walang blaming, Richie. Dapat even before, nagtanim na, nag-invest na yung HR. So that in any case that there will be some separation, you know very well what are your expectations. But di ba kung sa relationships, kung sa mga Amerikano ulit, sa North America, sabi ni Ophel, what do you call that? Mayroong prenup agreement. Parang alam mo kung talagang if everything doesn't get well, encouraging organizations to have a competent communicator on board who can do proactive in the strategic communication, not just end product tools like emails and letters. Richie, I agree. Most especially, alam mo, it is time of the strategic planning, so a review on the organization structure, siguro for all of us here, and let us try to endorse it. Organizations, especially if, I think, more than 50, there should be somebody assigned for, what do you call that? Strategic communicator or corporate communicator. If not one, part ng siguro with HR or part ng COO office, there should be that person para may KRA, may responsible for that. Communication can do issue management before concerns blow up in the crisis. Yes, Richie, if you were around us when we discussed yung change management with Joanne, we mentioned it para yung crisis management even before, so that you will have less of your stress. Sabi namin ni Charisse, dapat mayroon kang parang communication plan. Very important. I am preparing a webinar for supervisors, and I did a TNA. And Richie, what top 3 concern? Number 1 is communication. Communication. So I think there should be one in the organization now, especially that we are doing this will continue the our alternative work arrangements. Somebody should actually think of strategies on how people will communicate. With the pandemic, risk assessment has been heightened for business continuity and people morale. Yes. Kasi poor HR, poor, what do you call this, executives and managers, they are already full of what they are supposed to do. So, bibigyan mo pa sila yung communication strategy, how they're going to do. Somebody should think about it talaga. Talaga. I agree, Ritzy. So, nice that we discussed that. So we can conclude that it should be a separation pay, but if it is a resignation, wala. But there is, of course, a retirement pay if it is more than 5 years. And then there should be a program. I think it is a must that we are going to expect a lot of changes in the near future. So HR must now install a program. If they are para bang missing the point or if they need some help, they can just siguro call Richie, Joanne, myself, or Ophel. And then si June. Cross-functionality is key. HR, communication, and operations. Yes, I agree. Nakatay yun eh. With that, we have to break the silos already, Richie. When it comes. Marvin, continuous office communication will provide guidelines and transparency throughout the organization. So that means, ang akala kasi ng some of the HR, when there is a communication problem, it's grammar, it's the form of the memo. Parang hindi yun. Parang it's more of, yun nga, yung sinasabi ni Richard ni Marvin, it's more of trying to have a connect everything, and you have to look. Communication leads to positive relationship building that sees us through bad times. And I think that what HR can do is on the implementation, kung idadala niya sa mentoring, sa coaching, or sa training. But yeah, I agree that somebody should look into the what are the corporate, the strategic corporate community. What are the ways that information should be disseminated in organization, and it's needed now. Be it you are a small, a micro, or a big organization. So actually, that is, I love it. This is actually the point. When I was reading the problem in the PMAP group chat, actually I was thinking about this. So because it should not be a process problem. Kasi it can be fixed. It should not be an IR problem, but it's more of a soft skill or a behavioral problem. And I'm thanking those consultants that we have here, and then we hit it. It's actually a communications problem. Okay, let's have a quick break. When we come back, the problem, I'm very sure, don't go, because this is a problem that is ongoing. What shall we do with women at work and they're having problems on, what do you call that? Imbalance, hormonal imbalance, and you know it. Okay, but before we go, babasahin ko muna yung mga linalagay dito. I'm sorry, let's start with Richie. Communication leads to positive, the first one. Communication leads to positive relationship, building that sees us through bad times. Agree, Richie. And then the next one, please, direct. Communication should see down the road 1-year plan, midterm, 10 years and more for reputation, branding, internal strength building. Naku, Richie, allow me to endorse you as a consultant for organizations who have these problems kasi they need help. Hindi lang pwede po na you come up with your communication plan. There should be some outsider. Yun ang sinasabi ko as a consultant. Sabi ko, you need someone. I am actually I was able to convince one company, let's go back to Richie. Sabi ko, ito naman ito, Richie, ganito. They got people from Europe to work here in the Philippines. So they asked me to teach them, to give orientation on how they're going to deal with people, Filipino clients. So, but I told them, ang sabi ng HR sa akin, sabi niya, Sir Jess, siguro mga a month will do every once a week and then okay na yon. Then I told the HR, no. Kasi somebody should, if this is the case, and this is your organization, and it is a communication problem, and it's a behavioral problem, somebody from the outside, kaya nga you need a consultant advisor to really look into you. Kasi kung kayo sa confines ninyo, hindi mo yun nakikita. HR, listen to this. Kaya, Richie, Joanne, you are needed. Kasi ang akala nila, that you help them see that it's the problem. Di ba, Joanne, nalala mo yung sa akala nila quick fix yung yung change? Hindi. You need a lot of programs. You need a lot, even it's communication, you need somebody from the outside to tell you. Pero dapat proactive yung tao. Hindi naman yung evaluate. Anyway, let's continue. Kay Joanne, communication is more than just slides. Did I miss something coming from June? Can we go back to what June, Derek, can we go back to what yung kay June Sally? Can we go back to that? You flashed something earlier, Derek, coming from June. Most of the misunderstanding in performing their task is lack of clarity of their duties. Also, June. Right. Kasi sometimes doon sa onboarding, hindi nakiklear yung expectations and then the objectives. Right. Can we now go to what Joanne discussed? Communication is more than just slides and memos, of course. These are important, but think also of small communication, short, informal, face-to-face between managers and their employees. Don't focus too much on formality, jargon, cliche, or false cheer. I love that, Joanne. Yung parang fan page, link to values, make easy to operationalize. So, yun nga sabi nga ni Ritzy, dapat mayroong talagang communication strategy. And that has to be well thought of. Hindi lang na sabi mo, ay communication ang kulang. Then HR and communication are partners. Sabi ni Richie, communication isn't just media plan and media mix, it is strategy and actual walking the talk from top management down the line. Good. These are sometimes not appreciated. And now with the pandemic and now with the distance arrangement, it is now felt. Because communication problem na talaga. Then we have from Ophel, yes, partners, it's corporate communications that proves such communication for branding and proper language. Yes, alam mo may oras, it's the slant. I have here a book from Inquirer, the style book. It's the slant. How you do it. There are times, masakit sa tenga. So there should be the proper language, the proper slant, the proper tone. I love you, Ophel. Then Richie, we usually do message shaping and work without HR. Yes, can we have that one of Richie Ronquillo? We usually do the message shaping and work with our HR partners. Then the next one is for multinational or those with foreign partners and consultants, also cross-cultural understanding, diversity, equality, and inclusion. Yes, it's still communication, it's behavioral. And then we have for Marvin, during the pandemic, most employees start having doubts and grievances because of poor transparency on what's really happening in the organization. True, Marvin. Adding to the stress that they may lose their jobs. People appreciate it when they get informed promptly and sometimes contribute to the solution. Marvin, can we have this quote? I would like to have to your quotation. Allow me to use this because this is very powerful. And the last one is Richie. Also, with sustainability, the human capital is a major pillar. So that actually concludes the first problem. Let's have a quick break. When we come back, let's talk about the hormonal imbalance. Okay. the next wonderful. Can we have that poster wherein we invite viewers to log on or visit the page of the new channel, because we have wonderful shows from the big picture down to the mental shift. So this is the best alternative. It is your option. You can use your gadgets to view the shows, and always be my lunch date on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Can we go back to my friends, our consultants, very able and seasoned HR. I am during the break. I was forwarding and sharing this to people. We watch it. There are a lot. See, Grace Moniz was saying sorry because he's in a meeting. Maricor is also in a meeting, and family. But they are telling me, sayang, because sabi niya, we are viewing it. Just imagine, they are in a meeting, but they are viewing us. And we can see your posts. They can see the posts of Marvin, Ophel, Ritzy. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back. Okay. Can we have this now? I had this problem before when I was with in another organization. There was this lady who was really very cooperative, and she's really a performer. Then, as years go by, she became a problem. She became so snooty. She was acting a little bit strange, having some troubles, a little bit picky on people. Okay. And I knew it before. Now, just recently, I have a friend who texted me, who said that I'm now okay and I can actually bear the troubles that I have. But as I mentioned, I have my minor was psychology. It is just trying to express herself. So I asked her, how old are you now? And then the answer is 43. But in previous, I'm a stalker. You can watch the rants in the social media that there is a problem. She's a very sweet, loving, generous lady. By the way, generous, huh? She just gifted me something. But you can see that there is something different. And then, because she's transparent, she told me it's hormonal imbalance and I'm okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you call the menopause. And for men, it's the andropause. And it usually comes mid 40s. And I'm very sure a lot of those who are here have experienced that. Now, the problem, how should HR, how should managers respond to this? Okay, so I'm waiting for your EQ drops as people reach certain age and the first sense of the response to things around them. Right, often. Yeah, not even accounting it to the hormonal imbalance. Emotional intelligence sometimes drops. Maybe it's their Peter's principle of Fell, di ba? Part of midlife. Yes, part of midlife. Yung para bang at early on you're so engaged, you're so that demotivated to do things, but you're just tao lang. As years go by, it wanes. It wanes. So I agree. Even at parang discounting the hormonal imbalance due to menopause, your EQ really, ano, Rina, here but late. Yeah, Rina, you can join us. Natapos na kami dun sa una. So that is based on science. So part of midlife and menopause versus midlife crisis. Yan nga, Charis. Menopause. So the problem is, how are we going to respond to this? Because it's there. It's there. It happens. And it is being felt. Ang una muna, I would like to know if you're the one, for the ladies here, if you're the one, you feel it. I can relate to this. Not me, Andrew, not the post. Because my mom had this. My mom had this. And you were lucky. I was a friend, may she rest in peace, to a doctor friend of mine. And then she was actually a study for UPPGH. And then there was a consultation. Yun nga, yung sinasabi nga ni Joanna, here in the Philippines, sometimes when you consult to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, sometimes you are deemed to be a cuckoo, which is not. So menopause versus midlife crisis, and we have here, join us, cousin Bebeth. Yes, can we have Ophel? Good topic to discuss because this seems to be discounted in most cases. Para bang nobody would like to talk about it, but it is there. It is actually there. Because I had a long conversation early this morning. But there is only a level of things that we can help people. Kasi this need a little of medical. Partnered with LMD and ad learning sessions on this. Yanga Ophel. Yeah, we have to look on this. Sometimes we call it, ang maganda ngayon, we call it hormonal imbalance. But actually, it is actually menopause. And sometimes it's actually, it affects our performance. So what I would like to get from all of us here, Marvin, can you give your thoughts on this? How do we deal if we have one? If we can see that somebody is already experiencing such, of course, hindi mo naman pwedeng magkaroon ng leave. Unless mayroon talagang medical. Kasi di ba mayroon yung mga nag-itchiness, there are hot flashes, there are, what you call this. Pero ang mahirap, yung mental nga eh. Yung mental. And then the more that it is affected now because of the mental health situation that we are in due to the pandemic, tapos tumama pa. Nagkakaroon ka ng menopause, nagkakaroon ka ng mental health situation, nag-ano yung relationship mo, then you have it. The question is, how are we going to respond to this? What program should we have? Joanne, if you are still around, I would like to know your thoughts on this. Because this is a true concern. I would like to know. with menopause, many aspects of life are affected. EQ, physical and mental. Yes, yes, Ophel. Yes. So para bang, ang sagot ko naman, you know what I did was, because friend ko rin yung husband, sabi ko, they need a lot of understanding. Ang mahirap nito kasi, I know just like all of you here, you will always say that you can do it. You can, of course, you can surpass it. You can, what do you call this? Bear it and then be able to successfully, di ba? It's part of life. Pero ang ano nga, yung what should organization, what are the things that we should do to respond to the situation? May sinasabi si Ritzy, glad if the workplace is caring a place. It can be a topic for wellness, health, talks that are usually offered to employees. Supervisors and other leaders can also have talks on this as part of managing people with empathy. So, what I can see, can we have this? Yes, part of wellness, sabi ni Rina, engagement, activities for this group of people, and then sabi ni Cherise is hormone imbalance has a lot of reasons. Of course, yes. Kasi siyempre yung growing up mo, yung what you eat, and siguro talagang mayroon ka na talagang physical deficiencies. So, ang ano ko lang dito is one is, there should be, that should be part of siguro counseling, or that should be part of an awareness training for everybody. Back to a communication suggestion, proactive preventive communication can help. Awareness that it can happen, more info on what is about, programs or actions to help and make others understand, and programs to be implemented. Right. There should be, because this is actually not taken. Understand what the person is going through and respect the feelings of that person. Agree, cousin Bebet. Bebet is the president of PMAP Tarlac. Recreational activities. Yeah. So this is just to make HR being aware that there is a need for a program for this. Menopause is a major life change, and we have to acknowledge the transition process that one goes through this stage. Agree. That is coming from Joanne. Agree. So it's a major life change. But how do we respond to it? When I was nearing 50 many years ago, I had to sit down with my son to explain that he will have to forgive his mom, and if she shows some changes in behavior, starts from home. I love you, Ophel. Si Ophel talaga, ginagawa niya yung HR ano niya sa buhay niya. Yeah. Family awareness and support programs must be installed. Thank you, family. I know you are busy. You had an email and a meeting, but you are back. Yes. Oh, let's welcome family, my BFF. Very good. A wellness program. So, yan nga. Kasi sometimes, it is not, we have a nice onboarding, and then with yung outplacement, we have that. This is another program that should be taken. Kasi it's there. It's there. And sometimes, usually, ito yung mga kasi yung mga 40s, that means nasa supervisory and executive na yan. I remember, pardon my telling this, si Ma'am Sandy had that before. But she knew about it, and that there was awareness. And she will always be apologetic when there is a meeting that starts. I apologize if I may have some changes in yon. Because she's aware that she's undergoing it. So it's a wellness program. Growing the profile of the workforce can show magnitude of propensity for it to happen. Kasi ang lalabas nga dyan, Ritzy, sasabihin na, ay, sumungit si Ritzin, nasungit na si Ma'am Fe Marie, masungit na si Ma'am Ophel. Usually the millennial and the younger ones, ang akakala nila, sumungit ka. Enjoy a program in the General Assembly, like how to adapt to people who has imbalance in, how do you pronounce it? Ophel. I'm afraid. Vice versa or vice versa? Takot na takot ako mag-English, basta nandiyan si Richard, si Ophel, and si Marie. Knowing the profile of the workforce can show magnitude of propensity for it to happen. As I mentioned, Richie nga, usually these are in the executive position na. I know that. When I was working with two government GOCC, and may mga complaints sa TNA that they cannot understand. Di ba I'm doing EQ webinars? Ang dun sa TNA ko, they cannot understand their bosses. Oh, cousin Bebet, accept the reality of the present condition and embrace it. Oh, this is coming from the person. Like I was asking that earlier. Thank you. Can we go back? Can you go back yung sinabi ni Bebet? Just take it on a day-to-day basis. Kasi both ways dapat ang approach natin. HR, listen. It's actually you have to counsel the person. Ito nga sinasabi ni Bebet is to accept it. Kasi baka there are some sa psychology, sometimes you don't really accept reality. There is a term for that. So, tama si Bebet, there should be a counseling effort for the person that you are undergoing this, diba? What do you call that nga? Yung ano ng change? Then, the stress is bigger responsibility and can take a toll on it. Yeah. So, and then, ang ito-take mo man, the people working around that person. Kasi, the usual, ang bababaw, ay sumungit. Ba't at ganito si madam? Yet there is truth to people's statement that older folks are less patient. Again, these are all part of the changes in EQ level after 50. Agree. Agree ako, Phil, sa iyo. Even myself, I am sometimes, kaya sabi ni ano nga, fierce. You get impatient kasi, yung sa parang, you expect a lot from people and sometimes you misses that. Parang you have already in your mindset molds on how people should react to what you want. And then, hindi nangyayari. But it is more on the EQ. But this one is on how we're going to deal with those in hormonal balance. And I think there should be a program from HR that dapat gumawa. So again, let's Ophelia is here, Femery is here, Ritzy and Joanne, you are women of substance, you are influencers. Siguro we can have an influence so that siguro sa PMAP that there should be a wellness program on this kasi it is a problem. It is an ongoing problem that is kasi dapat it has to be addressed what do you call this, professionally. Tama bang ang tawag ko, professionally or with medical, may medical ano dyan yung parang hindi lang na you have to be kind to say Ophel as she's undergoing this, hindi lang siguro everybody, and there should be a program on this. Mayroon pang ligat, the truth, can we have that one that is posted by Ophel? Yes. Yet there is truth to people's statement that we already okay. So that's it. I just don't know. Does it happen also to men? Because I know there is andropause. Sumungit. Or this is a joke. Like 7-year itch. So the problem is more on what you call sexual Pero does it happen? Pero nakikita ko kasi may mga lalaki na biglang nag-change yung ugali, naging silent, naging burangot. Eco change is part of hormonal imbalance, part of menopause. Diba? Ang point ko lang is there should be a program on that from both. From awareness on the individual undergoing that, because sometimes it's not taken. I would remind my team not to hesitate to tell me if anything is amiss. I like the word amiss, whether work-related or personal-related, so I can understand them better, and we can work on a solution better. I would also share with them if I'm going through something, not necessarily with many details, so that they can also understand me. But as a leader, you can take pains to be better as much as you can than your emotions. If you snap, okay lang to apologize. But it creates hurt. It's a speech that you posted, Ritzy. That's true. That's true. So nakikita ko, the program is aside from that, siguro ilagay sa mentoring, counseling and mentoring. Again, we go back to communication, and sometimes this is actually that I like the word amiss. We sometimes don't go into that, but it really happens. And then both ways, the effect is both ways. One is for the person, you will think that the organization doesn't care for you. Para bang, oh, my boss, they don't care for me that I am undergoing this. Or it starts in the family. Sabi nga ni Ufel, your husband, your children, I did it with my mom. I brought my mom here and then I had her for medication. Because she cannot really understand herself. She was crying like anything. And every time she has that flashes, she will tell us that she's undergoing heart attack. And it was affecting the family already. Oh, well, that was long ago. That was way back in the 80s. She's now 94. So going back, when this is one of those areas that HR sometimes kasi it's recruitment, it's the succession plan, it's the memo, but sometimes you really miss that there is a lady who you should be taking care of. Somebody should do counseling to her. But again, it's a communication problem that we have to change the mindset. Kasi when we ask them and say, sabi natin, oh, Ophel, would you like to meet doctor? Para bang everybody will, what's happening with Ophel? Diba? Pero dapat there should be what you call a program on this. This change happens to men much later in life. Late 60s, naku ha? 50s, natakot mo naman ako, Ophel, kasi I'm in the late 60s ako ha. Ang gusto mong sabihin, magiging burangot na talaga ako. So yun. So, wonderful day. It's already 1:07 and I'm being reminded by, can I ask all the consultants here, let's be together again on Thursday kasi we still have one, di ba? Yung isa pang problema, these are now yung husband and wife working in an organization. Let us be ready with our thoughts on this. So thank you very much for, can we call, from Charisse to Richie to Ophel to who else who were here earlier, to June. What is the EI for they? Whether men or women, I think we all seek acceptance and understanding. What's important is that a leader, people are comfortable going to you and trusting you when they are going through something. It means you really care for the people development and respect them. Again, creates mutual respect. Ladies and gentlemen, makita mo si Richie actually is a speech writer. Ang mga post niya, kung itahitahin mo, pwede ka na mag-speech. Joke yan, Richie, but I really love you. Nail it. Yeah. Ang gagaling Richie also, just like Zoilo. Can I use your quote? Diversity, equality, and inclusion. Yan palang, I am so ignorant. Sorry, I'm so ignorant about diversity, equality, and inclusion. Yes, kasi part of diversity yung man and woman. Right. Part of diversity yung man and woman. Yeah, tama ka. So, thank you again, my friends from Soilo. To Marie, ba't ka naging late? Ang ganda-ganda. So to conclude, if you can still would like that, I will read it. To conclude, for those yung sa separation and then the terminal pay, yes, we can address the process and then the requirements. But what is wonderful that we were able to have to share is that there should be a program. At ang sinabi nga ni Joanne, placement program. So it's not only yung onboarding, but also outplacement. And coming from Ophel, it should be clear from the start, the expectations. And coming from June Sally, including what you should know and what you should do, and no secrets. Kasi yung secrets and confidentiality, the first thing that they do, they go to government and you have a case with Dole. So, you can get a lawyer when it's already there in Dole. You can go to the processes and correct yourself and compute what was given by Zoilo. But, as we concluded here with our friends, and for those who are going to view this later on, have a program on how you're going to deal with people that will be reduction, or you call it termination of their employment, or you're going to separate them. And then, of course, we have to be kind. It's actually a change man. So you have to call us. Richie, you have to call Joanne. You have to call me. Ako, I've been mentioning I was mentored by Rick Abadesco on this when I was there in Inquirer, which is why I can consider I was successful in change manage. The other one is also on those people having hormonal imbalance, and most especially now that we are in a pandemic. And usually, as I mentioned, these are people who are actually senior na. And nagtumaas na yan. And sometimes, sabi nga ni Ophel, it's EQ. It's EQ, the change in your mindset and the change in how you deal with it. For HR, there is a need for a program. I don't know where will be your intervention. Will it be in the counseling, in the mentoring, or there is a training or an awareness program for that, for everybody? That nobody should really be bullied or should only be looked down because he's actually experiencing something, an imbalance in their life. Of course, it will, after a while, it will be gone. It is just happening that the system of the lady or the gentleman is there are some having what do you call this, hormonal changes. So thank you very much, friends. Virtual hugs. We are helping the community. We are helping HR look into things that sometimes we are amiss. Getting it from Ritzy. So there goes, ladies and gentlemen. This is HR Hotline, and I like this Thursday episodes wherein we can share our thoughts. I am inviting consultant season HR to share our thoughts. It's already documented because if you look at the playlist of HR Hotline, what yung mga insights, learnings that you shared are already there. And yes, Richie, cheers. Yes, thank you, Richie. Richie, Femery, and we are speakers on a summit on transformation on the 21st. On the 21st. So there goes, ladies and gentlemen. See you again on Thursday. Let's have again two concern. The other one is on because it's a problem actually also posted in a group chat, how to deal with husband and wife or having a brother or relatives in the organization. Now, sasabihin ko na parang we have to be ready kasi the other one is holding a confidential position. So may mga confidential matters. And then sometimes, siyempre, work from home, hinadala sa opisina. The other one, hindi pwede. So natatakot sila sa leak on the confidentiality. So I would like to hear your thoughts on that. June, be with us on Enzoilo. I would like to hear your thoughts on this. So there goes, ladies and gentlemen. What a wonderful day. After this, I'm going to take lunch and go back to my gardening. Have a balanced life. Integrate your life. Kasi right nga, totoo yun, you can have hormonal imbalance, but it is actually your proactivity, how you take care of yourself, how you take care of your mental health. Make sure that you have an integrated, balanced life. Hugs to all my friends. This is Jesse Rebustillo, this marvelous